Hi, I'm John Byrne with Poets&Quants. Welcome to another edition of the MBA adventure, Making It Happen with Fortuna Admissions. I have with me Judith Hodara, who is co-founder of Fortuna and had been at Wharton as the head of admissions there. And we're going to talk about the Harvard and the Stanford essays. Stanford has, of course, the most iconic essay of them all, What Matters Most to You and Why? So Judith, what matters most to you?
I love that question. Thank you. Never applied for an MBA. Don't have a great answer. But I think Harvard and Stanford both are questions that are designed to really get the students thinking about things much deeper than what is your next job after your MBA or where do you imagine yourself in 10 years. Also very valid questions, but the Harvard and Stanford really are digging so much deeper than that and are great questions for students to start out with.
Now the Harvard question is open-ended. It's basically, tell us more about you that we don't know. And it's making a case. So how do you even approach something like that that's completely open-ended? What matters most to you and why is hard enough, but having just a blank piece of paper and saying whatever you want, to me, is even more difficult.
And that's why we generally tell our students that that's the question that they want to start with, because it's really formulating what are the ideas that got you thinking about your path in life. How did you sort of arrive at this place where you've chosen a career path? You have certain things that are motivating you academically and professionally and personally. And how does this all sort of fit together? Sometimes I call it the origin story. You know, how did you get to this place that you're now thinking about these issues, thinking about yourself, not just as a professional, but really as your entire self?
But don't start, I was born on a chilly day.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
You sort of want to really give the reader a sense of not necessarily your exact birth background and date of birth, but sort of the formative things that have impacted you, how you've made decisions throughout your life, what are some of the influences that have been important for you. And when you think about being in a classroom with 900 other very talented individuals, what is it that you're going to bring to that community?
Right.
So for me, that's really the Harvard essence. And it's a hard thing to do. They don't really have any word limits. They don't say 3 pages or less, although we definitely recommend 2 pages or less. And it's an opportunity to share those parts of your background that aren't going to show up in other parts of the application.
Here's another thing. A lot of people don't realize that a key component of admissions is that admissions director looking at your application saying, what will this person add to the class? Very few people actually approach their application with that in mind.
And it's interesting to think about because too often you're sort of led towards, I did this and I did this and I did this. Yeah. Here are my accomplishments. I'm going to be humble about them, but this is what I've done. And what Harvard is really trying to elicit from the writer is not just what have you done, but why have you done these things? And how does that then impact you as an eventual class member and then looking forward as well. So it's really almost, I imagine it's doing like a camera view of you and what matters to you and bringing that into clear focus for the reader.
So Judith, you've worked with hundreds of applicants to Harvard and Stanford over the years.
Yeah.
Pick out one great Stanford answer to what matters most to why and why it mattered to you.
I think that the individuals that can really give values that are important to them, experiences that they've had, that they've learned from, and to make it as concrete as possible. So not sort of being a good person matters to me, but really things that might have guided your path as you were growing up or as you were going through undergraduate and professionally, and trying to tie together threads, because that's really important also, not sort of isolated incidents, but figuring out what are the things that they have in common that are going to help to support my particular approach.
So be specific, not vague.
Yeah, that
Tell
would be really
story
important.
with a point.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to read like a New Yorker essay, right?
It does not have to read like a New Yorker essay. So I guess you're talking about length. Succinct is always good.
Or even how beautifully crafted it is. I mean, very few people are gifted writers, let's face it. You want to be clear and communicate concisely, but you don't have to be lavishly beautiful or exquisite in your writing.
I would say that you're right. Sometimes it's easier and better just to really get the point across. And the advice that we give to our students is don't be afraid to just get into it. You know, you can kind of put the beginning on and you can kind of come around the back and finish it up. But what you're really looking for are the paragraphs like 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 that are going to tell the body of that story. And we frequently suggest that those are the questions that you start with, because thinking about those issues, really doing that deep dive analysis of yourself and what's important to you, then helps to craft the other essays that you might be working on as well. So oddly, a lot of students want to avoid that. They'd rather go with a straightforward, what am I going to do in 5 years?
Right.
Or what am I going to major in? And more often than not, the best way to approach it is really with the questions that are causing you to stay up at night a little bit and run this stuff through your head, and then that launches you into maybe some of the more pragmatic questions from some of the other schools.
Great advice, Judith. Thank you. And for you, now you know what matters to your Harvard and Stanford essay. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants. Thanks for watching the MBA adventure, Making It Happen with Fortuna Admissions. Watch all of our other episodes.